was recording before. Okay. So hi, everybody. First of all, I was going to ask everybody if you don't mind muting your lines, that would be fantastic, because I know last time we had a lot of random things popping on the screen for whatever little sound would come up. So we have lots to cover, so we are going to just dive right in. So we are happy to see all your faces, and we're super excited for whoever hops on later and listens to the recording. So thank you to you guys as well. Okay, going into this, there was a quote that came to my mind that I wanted to share with you. It says, magic happens at the end of your comfort zone. So that really is truly where you're going to see the most of your growth happen in your business. And I think really in your life in general is just like pushing yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. And also for those of you who are familiar with some of the frameworks, it's like outside that circle, it's like what you don't know that you don't know. So kind of keeping that in mind going into this series of, these could be some new ideas. They might not be the most comfortable, but they are tried and true, and they will help you propel your business for sure. So I encourage you just to take a deep breath and keep an open mind going into the training series. The objective of this training, I'm reading some, guys. I kind of typed out all my notes here. So anyways, it's foundations for you to kick butt in your business, really. Those are Sanara's words. To create a business you can be proud of and make the income that is worth the time that you're putting into it. For those of you who don't know Sanara Brown, she's a top earner in our company. She makes over $60,000 a month. And she has put together this training series. So this is like gold, like golden words coming from her. A little history on Sanara. She was at the top of the compensation plan in another direct sales company, but she still felt like there was more out there. So she researched many other direct sales companies and chose WildTree because it had the best compensation plan, hands down. You know, it did have consumable products that were on trend and a lot of other, checkpoints that you want to check off. But ultimately, it was the compensation plan was the reason she joined our company. She said she had tasted like an oatmeal cookie before she joined. It was not about the products. It was about the possibilities for her family. So she promoted to the top of the compensation plan with WildTree in 9 months of being in the company. So this is the training, and these are the things that she did to get there, which I think is just huge and awesome. So the first 3 weeks are all about developing a strong personal business. So there's 2 reasons for that. It's kind of like if you teach your kids to have good manners and you have good manners, like when they grow up, they're going to have good manners because they saw you, having those good manners. The same is going to apply with your team members. They're going to do what they see you do. So it's really important to lead from the front and lead by example. The second reason is you'll have a razor sharp coaching edge because when you have a strong business and you're out there working your business and then one of your team members comes to you with a question or idea or something, you have lots of experience to back your answer, and that's really important. So those are 2 really big reasons why it's important for us to have a strong business as well as trying to help others build their business strong. So the topics for the first 3 calls, this call today, the topic is recruiting. The call in 2 weeks is going to be high volume booking and host coaching. And then the call 2 weeks after that is having a demo that works for you. So those are just like the basics to the business that we all really need to like hone into and like just get sharper on those skills. Jacqueline and I are going to do a call on the 2 weeks in between those call series weeks and just talk about some other things that we feel like are really good, just basic skills that we can all just kind of fine tune. So the last 2 calls, so there's a total of 5 calls that Sanara is doing. The last 2 calls will be for those who want to promote to team leader. They're excited to motivate and inspire others to build businesses and just use their business in that way. So it's super exciting that it's just all going to link together and just be this incredible experience. The last thing I want to leave you with is to think about, well, not the last thing, but the last thing on my segment is when you're going out and you're doing parties, you're creating an income. Like you can only go out physically out of your house a certain number of nights in the month, or you're only willing to do that because you want to have family time and everything. So that's an income that you are creating. You can have really successful parties, but you're going to cap out at some point. Like that's all you can physically do on your own. When you are recruiting, that is where you can create wealth for your family, for your future, because you're duplicating yourself. So one thing that came to my mind was like, this hit home to me one night when one of my girls on my team. So I was a team leader. I make 12% on the people that I recruit into the business. And I sat on the couch and was hanging out with Jim all night. And one of my team members texted me and said, I just had $1,000 party. I'm so excited. And I was cheering her on and so excited. And then when I got off the phone with her, or quit texting her or whatever, I said to Jim, I'm like, I'm so excited for her. Da, da, da. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do you realize I just made $120 sitting on the couch with you right at home? Like, that's pretty incredible. So that's when it kind of hit home to me of like this duplication and how important recruiting is. And more importantly, like, you get to help others experience what you're experiencing in your business, in your life, which is just so awesome. And we just love it and want to share it. So, so Jacqueline, take it away.
Okay. Okay. So for today's call, we are going to focus on three main topics within the recruiting. We're going to talk about a paradigm shift of our recruiting, the power of your pitch, and the purpose of your party, and how this is really a numbers game. Hi, Julie. So I'm going to get started with the paradigm shift on recruiting here at WildTree. For whatever reason, since before I started, and Yota and I have been around for about 3 years each, we have had this incredible culture of weirdness around recruiting that you don't see in other direct sales companies. We have seemed to create a culture around recruiting that doesn't put a strong emphasis on it, that is shy about it, or maybe hesitant about it for some reason. And it's just kind of the way it has been for the last few years. Where if you think about some other direct sales companies that either you might have been a part of, or that your friends are a part of, or that you see on Facebook, you can see that they put a really heavy emphasis on recruiting. They talk about like it's air, it's just what they do, it's woven into every aspect of their business and their company. And it just hasn't been the default button for WildTree. And that's where we would like to make this paradigm shift, so that we don't have hangups on it. And that it just becomes something that we do and something that we're comfortable doing. And really, if you were to all think back, I can't speak for Yota's team, of course, but if you were to think back to the way you recruited, and Yota and I have talked about this quite a bit, it likely was not the way that it will be moving forward, the way that we're going to talk about today. And so just keep that in mind, that Yota and I are coming from a place where we are having that same paradigm shift. We believed in the business opportunity from the beginning, but it's something that we've sort of had to learn, and it wasn't ingrained in our business plan from the get-go, because we haven't had this focus on the recruiting component. So keep that in mind, that we are really in the same place that you are in, having this whole paradigm shift with recruiting being the forefront, and something that is just what we do and how we do it, and it's what we talk about, because we really do have an amazing compensation plan, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. So one of the things is that you might notice, or that you might hear about with people who whether it's you, or whether it's people who have joined your team already, or even customers that you may have that you're thinking about potentially may want to join your team. We kind of have two camps: product lovers and opportunity seekers. And we're going to kind of go into why both are important, but why it's important to really be seeking out those who are interested in the business opportunity, even if they do love the product. So maybe you are somebody who could be considered a product lover. You fell in love with the lemon roseberry blend, or the rancher steak rub, or one of the workshop kits, the everyday meal workshop kits, and you can't live without the jambalaya in the everyday meals workshop kit. And that made you want to join WildTree. You fell in love, you're a product lover, so you decided to join WildTree. That might be you. That might be people on your team. That might be friends that you have that you're thinking about having them join right now. But there's a whole nother side of people who might not actually be as in love with the product as you are, but may be seeking a business opportunity. So they may be at the party and they may think it's good. They know it checks all the boxes, right? It's organic, it's GMO free, it's all of the things on trend that we're looking for, cleaner, healthier food. And that might sound good to them, but really they're looking for an opportunity. They're looking for a way to be done with their 9 to 5 or have more vacation money or remodel their home or something. And they're really seeking the business opportunity from something that Wild Tree can offer. And we want to remember that when we're at our parties that we will have both sets of people there. And we want to be able to appeal to both in a way that makes it look attractive to be both. So keep in mind that if you were one of the people who jumped in because you're a product lover, you're likely going to have a pitch or have conversations with people that attract product lovers. If you were somebody who came for the business opportunity, then you're likely going to appeal to people who are here for the business opportunity. And either way, no matter where you lay in the spectrum, you will likely, we need to find a way to appeal to both, no matter where you lay in that, on that continuum. So just thinking back to when you look at the top earners in our company, Sonara included, they came to Wild Tree, like Yota said, because of the business opportunity. They took a good look at the compensation plan, and they realized that Wild Tree checked a lot of the boxes. It's consumable, which is really good in a situation where you want to keep maintaining a customer base and having people continue to place orders. It's organic, whole clean eating is on trend right now, but they might not have tried the product, and they were just attracted to the business plan. So we need to keep in mind that there may be more people out there just like that. Anything else to add to that, Yota?
I think that
I go on to the next.
Just 1 second. If those, hi Katie, hi Amy, I didn't see you guys earlier, but could everybody just push mute on your end just in case you hopped on after we said that? Sorry, but it just makes it easier for everybody to hear. And then are you still going, Jacqueline?
Yeah, I'm still going. I just want to make sure that there wasn't something you wanted to add.
Yeah, no, that was great.
Okay, good. Okay, so we're going to talk more about your demo, what you say at your parties, in a couple of calls from now. But just for a really quickly, want you to think about your demo. And maybe you're new enough and you haven't even actually had an opportunity to do a demo at a party, or you've only done it with maybe your good friends and family. But in that case, think back to maybe what I said or what Yota said in her demo. And think about maybe what we said or what attracted you to it. I know for me, you will likely have not heard a pitch that I'm about to propose to you now, and that's okay. So if you haven't been thinking this way, now is the time to get started with doing that, and starting from here on out is good. Leslie Monti, the founder of our company, I've always shared her story. I know that Julie and Christina both know her story because I always share, she was a single mom. She had 2 little boys who had food sensitivities and allergies to food, and she found it hard to make healthy meals for her family, right? Everybody knows that about Leslie's story. And there was a whole other aspect to her story that I've never even thought about. That really the reason she started this business was because she was a single mom with 2 boys who she had to take care of. And she knew that there was an opportunity in creating an amazing compensation plan. And she wanted to create a compensation plan where other single moms, work from home moms, single dads, parents, anybody who wanted to be able to support their families in a way that was flexible and had freedom to make a legitimate income for their family. That was her goal. So yes, of course she needed the healthy food for her kids and for her family, but there was a whole nother reason behind her mission, and that is to help people like us feel like we are making an impact and making an income that's worth our time. And so I just want to kind of let you guys, keep that in mind when you think about Leslie's story, that she really started this business for us, for people who will join our team in the future, so that we can make an impact in our communities and in our families based on the business opportunity and not just the healthy ingredients that we offer. So Yota is going to talk a little bit more about what that can sound like moving forward.
Okay. So I'm working on my new pitch. Sonara talks about the power of your pitch. Like, how does that come across to your audience when you're, at your workshop or your tasting party, and you're talking about the business? I am writing my own, but I actually thought because every word that Sanara shares is so valuable. I'm gonna actually just kind of read hers with hopefully the same confidence that she can have in her voice. And then just let you guys think, like, I'm gonna give you 2 different pitches, and I just want you to kind of think about how you're feeling when I'm saying each one, and then we'll just kind of talk about that afterwards. So, okay, so the way that I think I'm gonna segue into my business talk at my parties is like, so now you guys know like how many great products we have and how we can help you with your meal planning solutions through make ahead or frozen meals, fast meals, and our fresh meal options. But the very best product that we have to offer you is actually the business opportunity. So raise your hand if any of you know of any other menu planning companies like Blue Apron, HelloFresh, Sunbasket, those types of things. So probably just about everybody would raise their hand. Right now, this whole menu prep delivery online thing is huge, and we are totally on trend. Why? Because people now more than ever are so busy. The same people have a cleaning lady to keep their house organized, help them with that, have a nanny to help with kids. This is just another way to help people stay organized. Right now, Wild Tree is just a sliver in this market. That market is actually a $1 billion market right now. And we have aggressive goals in the next 7 years and are projected to grow from a $5 million to a $30 million company. We're looking for people who want freedom, better work-life balance, no glass ceiling, a break from the routine 9-to-5 job with flexibility to spend quality time with family and income potential to reflect what your time is really worth. And whether your life-changing income looks like $500 a month or $50,000 a month, Wild Tree can be that for you. So if any of these things sound appealing to you, please talk to me and I can send you home with a little bit of information. Okay, so that's one. Do we want to ask questions now or do you want me to read the other? Or like, how did you guys feel about that? Like, can everybody unmute and like, or whoever wants to say something, like, what did that sound like to you? And give us some feedback on that. Don't be shy, please.
Well, I would like to say something. This is Danae. And I think that you threw out some facts, which to some people that's really important. So you can talk about product, and if you are just like trusting type of personality, you'll just jump in based on that. And then you also hit some facts. So if you're that type of personality, I think that pitch was good because then you've reached out to that person as well.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
I'm going to say something. I think it was a good like pitch. I don't like the word spiel, but like it's a good spiel. And then I also think you need to take into account like who's your audience. So like I'm doing a workshop in a week and she's a LuLaRoe consultant. So do I think she's going to join? No. Will I throw out the possibility because she's already said, I want to do this like once a month. Well, if you're going to do it once a month, you might as well become a distributor for personal use even. So I think it's important that you know who your audience is, because if you're in a room full of people who you know are already doing other things, then you might not need to give all the facts. You might not need to like push so much on the joining because you know they're already doing something and maybe they're not allowed to do something else. And I think it's important.
Keep one thing in mind with that is that Sanara Brown was the top of her compensation plan in another company. So something maybe even, and this is where it's like outside of that comfort zone, what you don't know, right? Totally. Because I think that's super great feedback so that you can kind of try to wrap your mind a little bit around this whole paradigm shift of like, that's where we sort of decide for somebody else versus. But I think that was a great valid point because I think it's something that's really important that we discuss because I've felt that way too. Like, oh, they're already successful in their business. Well, guess what? Leggings aren't consumable. Hate to break it to her. You know what I mean? And my husband's not going to break out a pair of wild print leggings, but my husband's going to eat dinner every night. Just saying. So I'm just telling you, we don't want to be product heavy in our opportunity discussion, but we have a product that's consumable that everybody eats dinner. So for an example, my sweet friend Amy Muffick, who's on the line, was about to sign up as a 31 rep when we were standing at the parade about to watch our daughters do the University of Montana pregame parade. And I'm like, what? I'm like, you should sell Wild Tree and buy 31. Like, bags aren't consumable and not everybody needs bags. And she's like, I need bags. I'm like, right, but not everybody needs bags. So what you want to do is just totally wipe your slate clean of anything that we've ever been taught and anything we've ever thought in our mind. And then approach it from the standpoint of, what if this could be that answer to somebody? What if like Wild Tree does have something different than what they have? And you could treat it like, I say this at every party. You might be totally content with where you're at, but I can't leave today and feel good about myself without offering this to you, right? And that would still make those people feel good about what they're doing, and that's super awesome. And I know what you're saying. If it's literally a LuLaRoe rep and her entire team, you don't want to be like in the back corner trying to recruit her girls necessarily. You might say something that resonates with someone, and then it could be 6 months down the road that LuLaRoe is great for now, but Wild Tree might be the answer then. So that's the whole like ready, not ready, type of thing. But let me go on to one more thing, and then you guys can give feedback on even like both of those demos really quick. So this is kind of like demo or business opportunity spiel number 2. And so sense the difference between the two. So I'm going to give you a little bit of information about our business opportunity now. You can see with Wild Tree, we have no monthly quotas. You can do as much or as little as you want. If you love the product and if you think you'll make the meals again, you can be a rep, get a discount, share with friends, and make a little money on the side. What type of rep are you going to attract with that type of a spiel versus that first one? Like, how did those differ to you guys? Does anyone want to chime in?
I'll say something.
Okay.
That's totally going to be like the personal use. Like, you're not going to get a go-getter at all. You're not going to get somebody that like realizes, like, when you say you can make a little bit of money, like, sure, that's a good point. Maybe all people want is a little bit of money, but most people want to be able to like go on vacation or help out. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you want to contribute.
Yeah.
So I'd rather hear, wow, somebody makes $60,000 a month in this company. Even if I could make 5,000, I would be stoked.
Exactly, the possibilities there.
But to know that those possibilities, like, it's the go big or go home. Like,
well, and you get what you ask for. Like, that's one little like key takeaway I took from Sonara was like, you get what you ask for. So I added the part about whatever life-changing income looks like for you, whether that's $500 a month or $50,000 a month. That was my own personal like sentence. You could take that or leave it. If you don't like it, you don't have to say that. The reason I wanted to throw that in is because life-changing income for one person might mean I've never been able to take my family on a vacation to Disneyland. And if I could make $500 a month by the end of the year, I could take my family to Disneyland. And that might be life-changing to one person. Where like life-changing to Sonara is, I want my husband to retire at 40 years old. I'm traveling. She can't be with us on the other weeks, you guys, because she went to Mexico for spring break. She's going to Jamaica with Wild Tree, and then she's going to some fancy other country. And she's like, hashtag I Wild Tree, like, dreaming big. But anyway, you hit the nail on the head. So I know, like, I don't know how much time we're on. Should we keep rolling? We better keep rolling. So I know you guys probably all have lots of awesome feedback on that, but I hope it's Christina, right? Yeah, Christina definitely like touched on some really great points, and I hope that all of you guys like kind of sense that more magnetic, like, ooh, I want what she has, like that sounds good, like that could change my life versus oh ho hum. Because here's what happens: if you have that little small, you don't have to do much, and you have one go-getter in your audience, she's going to look for a different opportunity because that opportunity is not what she's looking for. The no monthly quotas, this and that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of that changed my perspective on the whole idea. So totally went off here. So I guess it's just like we said, it's that paradigm shift. And I already said this, what you pitch is what you get. So if you want hobbyists, if you want people, I can tell you guys the zeros in my genealogy report, which is a lot, and I'm excited for them to all fall off when this new activation policy kicks in. I'm not saying zeros as people, I'm just saying the zeros as the dollar signs. Those are people who probably signed up to do a little bit or get the discount. I never used the word discount in my demos, but like they thought, oh, I really like this. My friends would like that. You literally like never buy anything. I mean, it's almost like it's worse than having them as a customer. You need customers. Like Jacqueline said, you need hostesses and customers. And And those people should stay that way. So I know we all are like eager to recruit, but this is a little bit of a leap of faith of like trust the system and like try it for 90 days. You know what I mean? And if it's not for you, it's your own business. You can do what you want. But you don't want to recruit yourself out of business with people who do nothing. Like that doesn't ultimately help you in the long run. Okay, so I kind of went all over, but I think that covered it, Jacqueline. If you want to add anything to that, and then you can go.
No, I think that's perfect. That's a perfect segue into, really we want to be, we at the same time that we want to make sure that we are promoting the business opportunity with an open mind for people. We do want to believe that this can be for anyone, right? Anybody can sign up to be a rep. Anybody can work the business model and grow a team and grow an income and build wealth. Anybody can do that. So we want to make sure that we are careful in believing in that infrastructure, because anybody can do this. It doesn't matter if you have another job, are a single mom, work from home, stay at home, no sales, never been in direct sales, I've never heard of direct sales. It doesn't matter. Like, we can't pre-qualify anybody. Anybody can work the system and have a successful Wild Tree business. What we want to be careful is that we can identify people who would really make really great customers and hostesses versus team members. So as you're talking through your parties and perhaps with using your customer care forums, as people start to talk about how much they love it and how they want to have another party and they love the product, you can try saying something instead of saying, that's a great idea, you should join and sign up, like Yota was just saying. They often join and sign up, but life takes over because it's not that important for them to place a Wild Tree order. They can still go to the grocery store and buy food. They're not attached to it yet. But if they stay a customer and we say something like, you love this so much, why don't you host and get it for free? I can help you with recipe ideas and meal planning ideas. And we get to stay on them from a customer service point of view, and have them be a really great frequent buyer or a frequent hostess. And they get to really reap the benefits of our customer service. So as long as if they're not interested in the business opportunity and they really are product heavy, then they would make an amazing customer or an amazing hostess. And we will benefit from that. As a team leader, if you're making 12% on people who, or if you're a rep and you're making 3% on people who join your team to order the product, when they order their one freezer meal workshop, a month, you make 3% on the $78. Where if they're a customer of yours, you're making 25% on their orders. So there is some savviness about it to build your customer base as you're building your team, and realize that we need both. We really need good customers too. So that kind of segues into the direct sales industry as a whole, and the stigma on income and on not really providing direct sales, not providing enough money for people, that we can't make enough money. And the stigma goes with those kind of people who just join for the discount or join because they love the product. Because if you're not really thinking about it as a business, thinking about it from an opportunity standpoint, then you aren't going to work it in that way, and you're not going to make money in that way. So really, this is a business, like Christina was saying. The go-getters. There are go-getters out there who want to change their life, who want to make more than a couple of dollars that they could make at a garage sale versus, the $5,000 a month. So there is this stigma about not making a lot of money in direct sales because we're recruiting that way. So if we find the power in our pitch, we have the confidence in the business opportunity, that we are in a market that is in high demand, organic, batch cooking, meal prepping, time saving, in a situation and a time where people are busier than ever. They're outsourcing. We're outsourcing everything. We outsource our laundry, our dry cleaning, taking care of the kids, like Yota was saying, cleaning, mealtime, meal prepping. I mean, having meals delivered is crazy. Our parents think we're crazy, right? That people do things like Blue Apron even Wild Tree. My grandma doesn't understand why people keep coming to workshops. She doesn't get it because people are just busier now and they need something like that. And so in order for us to change the way people think about direct sales and to change the way Wild Tree fits into that direct sales market, we work on our pitch and we give our business opportunity the, like we paint Wild Tree with a brush that it deserves and make it more powerful. People will be attracted to that. And that looks like, you know, talking about the business opportunity on Facebook, posting your meals, posting, you know, sharing it, sharing the mission, and being convicted with it. And that might seem kind of hard to do from the beginning because you might just be getting started and you might have had one party. And when you get your commission check at the end of the month, you might think, well, I fall into that category. I'm not making enough money in direct sales. Well, just give it some time. Know that we really do not have a glass ceiling here, that you get to be the CEO of your own business. What you put into it, you will absolutely get out. And what Leslie for us was intentionally to be able to have us move forward, to spread an amazing business opportunity for our families and for other families.
Awesome. Hey, if you didn't unmute, can you guys just mute one more time? Sorry, I had everyone unmute and then it gets kind of loud. Okay, so the last sort of bullet point is keeping your funnel full. So, I mean, obviously you have to see enough people in order to do, you know, recruiting, to recruit people. So they talk about recruiting 2 people a month keeps your business going. Recruiting 3 people a month really propels your business to the next level. That sounds like a lot to people who haven't recruited at all or are just, you know, have recruited here and there. But changing the mentality of how we go about this can totally change everything. So number one, if you really want to promote to leadership in this business, you need to be doing 8 parties a month. Plain and simple, no 2 ways about it. And I actually messaged Sonara 6 or 12 months ago and I said, hey, how did you get to the compensation plan, the top of the compensation plan in 9 months? And she said, I did 8 parties every single month. No rocket science, that's it. She hostess coach, so she had good attendance. We're going to teach you all about that in the, 2 weeks later. In 2 weeks from now on the call. But it's not rocket science. It's literally a numbers game. Be in front of enough people. So your parties are paid recruiting appointments. You can talk to somebody about the business, go meet them for 2 hours at Starbucks, and they may or may not sign up. Or you can go to a party, be in front of 10 to 15 people, leave with 3 recruit leads, and they might all sign up, So think about it from that numbers perspective all the time. And here is something that I felt made me feel not as stressed out about this, in case anybody's starting to feel stressed out about recruiting, is, okay, some people sign up on the spot. Some take a year, some take 5 months. It is not your job to talk people into it. Your job is to increase the probability by dropping people into your funnel all the time. Does that make sense? So it is not about talking someone into joining the business. It's about talking to enough people so you find the people who want to join your business. When you take that weight off your own shoulders, you're meeting people where they are at, and you're coming from a place of service and offering something that is an incredible opportunity. It just feels different. It feels good, So don't think of it like I'm shoving this spiel down someone's throat. Think of it like I'm offering this amazing opportunity, and this could be a huge blessing or gift to someone in their life. Let's see. I know we're getting short on time. So you never know, what the people around you need or want. So don't ever make assumptions. One of the girls on my team is an OB doctor. I don't think she's on the call right now, Jennifer Muldoon. I would have never in a million years thought that she would want to sign up in Wild Tree. And she's really she loves the business. It gives her something different, and mostly it gives her flexibility. So do not prejudge. And then lastly, in our area, especially in the Western United States, oh gosh, we're about to get cut off. Mm-hmm. We have an untapped area. So it's ground floor, and Jacqueline just finish with the homework. Sorry guys. Okay.
I'm going to finish with the homework in just a second, but this is a really great example that Maria has always talked about, Maria Hardy, who's my upline. It's a cookie example. So say you are at a party, right? Just a party with your friends, hanging out with your friends, and you baked fresh homemade chocolate chip cookies, and you pull them out of the oven, you put them on a tray, and everybody's hanging out and mingling, and you start walking around your house, your kitchen, with a tray full of cookies. and you offer them to a couple people. April, would you like a cookie? Christina, would you like a cookie? And then you keep walking. And there's Danae, and there's Julie, and there's Katie, and they're like everybody wants a cookie. Everybody wants a cookie. And if you don't invite everybody to have a cookie, they might feel like, well, I wanted a cookie. So it's like Wild Treat is this cookie, right? And so we have to offer it to everybody because we just don't know. We just don't want to leave people out, and we don't want to forget to offer the cookie to everybody. Okay, less than a minute. I'll post the homework, but we are going to think about your pitch. Think about the differences between pitch number 1 and pitch number 2. Write it down, practice it, copy it. We can post the words that we have been using and work on that this week. And then we're going to post the Business Builder call from last Sunday to listen to it on recording from Shalom, because it was all about recruiting with a little bit of a twist, a difference from what we're learning from Sonara. But those are going to be your 2 main homeworks.